Hey everybody, welcome to the ReCoop. I'm Cooper Daniels and I'm a guy that knows a little about a lot. And today we're continuing with the crypto series and we're talking about Threefold. What the heck is Threefold? What is the Threefold Grid? The Threefold token? I'm going to break it all down for you. So let's get into it. First off, a little bit of history. Threefold was co-created by a gentleman named Kristof Spiegeleer. He's the current CEO. He's a man from Belgium. You know, I'll just say this about Kristof. He seems like a very chill dude. And if I were a betting man, I'd say that Kristof meditates because he's very calm. And I could use a little of that calm, Kristof. Send it my way. Kristof is likes to ask the question, do you work for yourself or do you work for the planet? Right? These are the types of questions that Kristof asks. The company likes to say that they are humans working for humans. Threefold is basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to rebuild the internet from the ground up. And look, that is massive. That's about as hard as getting my girlfriend to like me again. Threefold, can you help me with that? Can you tell her that look at him. He's got his little show. He tells jokes. Be nice to the man. You know what I mean? Nah, she likes me, I think. I'm almost sure that she still likes me. Threefold aims to decentralize the internet, all right, through a peer-to-peer network called the Threefold Grid. You might be like, well, isn't the internet already decentralized? I mean, it's just a bunch of computers and servers talking to each other. I mean, that is what the internet is a decentralized thing. And yeah, on some level it is, and it certainly was that when it began. But basically what's happened now is that there's these massive data centers. They're owned by giant corporations. Corporations that you've heard of, like Google, Amazon, Alibaba, Facebook, et cetera, Oracle, whatever. So these massive data centers, giant corporations that essentially that are all kind of placed in the richest parts of the world. I mean, as it stands right now, only about 55% of the world has internet access. At least 40% of the world doesn't have access to the internet in 2021. It's kind of a tragedy. And, you know, the internet at this point, with how technology is so advanced, should be a human right. Another thing about this corporate-run internet that we have is that you don't own your data. You are now a product for these giant corporations. You don't own it. You don't own your data. You send a picture of your penis to the love of your life. It goes through a data center. You just don't own. You don't have any control. You can be spied on. There's all this kind of creepy shit happening with giant tech companies owning these data centers and owning your data and basically owning your digital life. You have companies like Threefold that are saying, no, we're done. We're done with this. We need to fix this problem. We need to provide the internet to underserved regions of the world. We got to make sure that people own their digital identity. They own their data. They own their self. They have privacy. They're in control of their digital life. That's fantastic, right? So what they've done is they've created something called the Threefold Grid. And they have a hardware device that anybody can use. It takes no technical expertise in order to run one of these. It's called a 3-node, and you can buy it and you can plug it in if you have internet access and a power. What you are called if you run a 3-node is a farmer, and farmers receive Threefold tokens, TFT, for the capacity that they contribute to the Threefold Grid. And the Threefold tokenomics there's going to be only 4 billion TFT that will ever be created. They're only generated when new capacity enters into the grid. And right now, there's not a lot out there, right? They're going for about 4 cents. I mean, the market cap is low. It's like 3.5 million. So look, you can go on PancakeSwap or Liquid or wherever you go. Threefold is a very ambitious project that's in the beginning, but they have left the starting line and they're on their way. And they have a lot of exciting partnerships that they're developing. They have partnerships with several different blockchains like the Threefold token itself is hosted on the Stellar blockchain. On their website, they mention Dash, Polygon, Neo, Harmony, DigiByte. I actually asked the Threefold Twitter account about their relationships with blockchains, and they responded. They said, we're mainly focused on decentralizing via the Threefold Grid and simple node deployment, but with DigiByte, we have bigger news upcoming. Okay, well, If you watch my channel, you know that I cover DigiByte. So I did a little bit of digging and I wanted to know, well, what is this news? You know, I did a video a couple weeks ago. You can check it out right here, where I talked about Rudy Bauman, the vice chair of the DigiByte Foundation, better known as the Dangler, because he likes to dangle news. And the Dangler was dangling some news, and I came to the conclusion that that news was linked to Threefold, and it appears that I am correct. And it also may include LCX, the exchange out there in Europe as well. And maybe I don't know how that works, but maybe Threefold, LCX, and DigiByte all have something big coming that they're working on together. I don't know. I watched a interview with Kristof Spiegeleer from about 10 months ago. It was an interview that he did with a podcast, very small podcast, and on YouTube there was about 100 views on the videos. He started talking about how he was working with partners on something else other than the Threefold Grid, and it was basically, he quoted Elon Musk as saying, we are all cyborgs, right? And we're cyborgs because we walk around with phones. And we have all of this information that we have to remember. We have all this data and applications and identity and all of this stuff now. And we are not in control of our digital life. And he was talking about creating a digital avatar that gives people control over their digital life again and consolidating it into one avatar. And look, when you start talking about digital identity and digital avatars, DigiByte has something called DigiID, AntimID, which would serve that very, very well. And then later in that interview, he was talking about partners, and the first thing that came out of his mouth was DigiByte. That was 10 months ago. Rudy said about a year ago they started working on this project together. They're clearly working on some sort of digital identity where you are now in control of your digital life again, is something that they're working on together. And I believe that is a major component on what they're going to announce here soon. So you heard it here. Cooper Brokaw signing off. Now, is it going to be hard to scale up these 3 nodes and actually get them across the world and into places and have people actually run them? Yeah, that's going to be hard. There's over 600 of these running right now across 21 countries. So they're very, very early on, right? To me, it's a noble mission that deserves support. I hope they succeed. And I look forward to hear what they're going to do with DigiByte and these other blockchains. I look forward to it. What do you guys think? Are you looking forward to it? Do you think this is a noble project? Put it in the comments. Let's talk about it. So if you have any questions, I might have the answer. And if not, I can go on Twitter and ask Threefold, because they've been very responsive and cool. So thank you, Threefold, for being so responsive on Twitter. Thank you to everybody else for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe. All right? All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Do your homework.